But first at 5, new details in the deaths of 2 young boys and that Amber Alert. Today, the Leavenworth County attorney charged Donald Jackson Jr. with capital murder. He's accused of killing his 2 sons Saturday and kidnapping his 2 daughters. Those 2 girls are now safe after law enforcement caught up with Jackson. I-Team reporter Jessica McMaster is live outside the Leavenworth Justice Center with the next steps in this case. Jess?
It'll likely still be several days before Donald Jackson Jr. is brought back to Kansas. Today, Leavenworth County Attorney Todd Thompson would not give details about the case, including what happened the day he says that Jackson killed his 2 sons. In addition to the capital murder charge, Thompson filed 2 alternative charges of first-degree murder, 1 for each of Jackson's sons. Thompson says prosecutors must prove to a jury that the crime meets the level of capital murder, which is why his office filed the alternative charges. When asked if any calls were placed previously to authorities in regard to Jackson, here's what Thompson had to say.
I do not want to shed any light on the defendant at this point, more so to make sure we, as best as possible, have a fair and fair trial in front of a jury. So I'm not going to speak about the defendant or the best about the victims or any of that factor. Sorry.
The charges against Jackson are for premeditated murder. The county attorney would not provide a motive. He says additional details about the case will only be provided to a jury. In Leavenworth, I'm Jessica McMaster, 41 Action News.
Thanks, Jessica. It sounds like authorities are still remaining very tight-lipped. So here's what we do know. Here's how we got to this point. Law enforcement have told us that they became aware of the situation after a family member discovered the bodies of Logan and Austin on Saturday. But then when Leavenworth County Sheriff's deputies arrived at the scene about 1:15, that's when investigators say they discovered Jackson already fled hundreds of miles away with his 2 young daughters, Nora and Avon. An Amber Alert was issued for the girls just after 3 o'clock on Saturday. Then finally around 7 p.m., Oklahoma State troopers found Jackson and the girls nearly 500 miles away in Eric, Oklahoma. That's where Jackson was detained and the 2 little girls were recovered.